Hello, everyone, and welcome to EML for round one of season 4. Sorry about the big delay. We've had some issues getting everything sorted. On our message, your commentator. Unfortunately, I'm alone today because we had some issues. We couldn't get more in. More will be the second commentator, usually. I was going to get everything set up. We had some issues getting the lobby sorted, but as of now, it's all fine and dandy. So we're able to get going. It's going to be very rushed for the start, so I'll try and talk about it more through when we have the first run set. Obviously, we've got 10 teams here. We're going to have a little look through the grid, and we can see here for TF10, we've got Harlan Marquis and Simon Komsky. TTL, we've got Casper Priest and Isaac Rusty. TF, that's Talent Factory, we've got Tiger Hardy and Legend Rosenberg. QRT, we've got Sebastian Lundell and Fabio Merhofer. FFC, that is the F1 Friends Cup, I believe. We've got Victor Santana and Alex LeFou, I'm going to say that. I hope it's correct. Might not be. NLR, we've got Girofu and Julio Figuera. TV8, we've got Akos Soltes and Alexander Johansson. FVR, sorry, we've got Jacopo Grillo and Nardi Perez. Shazook, we've got Lars Butterman and Miltos Karafaludis. And then ET8, we've got Rysiek Masuski and Bartas Salinski. And I believe that's every team listed off. So that was very quick. I had to get it done as quick as I could. Yeah, again, sorry about this. All rushed. We had some issues, but hopefully for next week it will be sorted out. But we're going to get going. We're on board with Harlan Marquis currently. Just coming through into turn 9 now. Turn 8 the hairpin, sorry. He's going to come on the exit very nice. Get on the power nice and early into gear 4 up to 5th. And he charges all the way down to turn 9. Very difficult. You've got to try and break straight, but also try and turn in without locking up. And, Harlan a little bit deep there. Misses the apex completely. So that's not going to be an ideal. He should lose a little bit of time there. But he's now going to be charging down towards turn 11 now. Going to break just at the 50-metre board, chuck the car in. He wants to barely hit the apex. There we go. Very nice. And on the exit, take it a little bit wide so we can take a nice line into turn 12. And just touches the curb there. On the exit, rides the curb into 13 now. You want to just about hit the apex. Very nice. Ride the curb on the exit as you now head down the final straight up till you get to turn 15. Julio Figuera sets the fastest lap of 28.039. That'll be the first lap of the session. Harlan now into the final couple of corners. Let's see what time he can get on the board. Obviously, TF10, one of the quickest teams here on the PC platform. Let's see what he can do. Up to the line, 27.4, 6/10 quicker than Julio Figuera. Very nice. TTL, and that is Casper Priest, up to line with a 29.2. Legend Rosenberg, a 27.6. Nardi Perez, a 28.018. Now Victor Santana for F1 Friends Cup. He's just coming through into the final call. Let's see what time he can put on the board as he comes up towards a bit of a slide there on the exit in the Red Bull. And he comes up to the line. Where does he go? It will be a 28. It'll be a 28.748. Not the most ideal time, but he's definitely got lots to improve. Akos Soltes, a 28.361. Fabio sets himself into 5th. On board with his teammate now, Sebastian Lundell. Miltos Karafaludis goes quickest, 5,000ths over Harlan Marquis, puts himself onto that top spot. And that is Alex LeFou, who goes 4th quickest with a 27.885. So I've got quite a few more drivers now getting into the 27s or the low 28s. And Lundell now into the final corner. Let's see what time he can put on the board. His teammate down in 7th to a 28 flat. And he's invalidated on the final corner. What time would he have set anyway as he comes up to the line? Would have been a 27.9, so that would have put him just into 5th place. Jacopo Grillo just coming out of turn 3. Now we're heading to turn 4. Simon Komsky goes quickest with a 27.357, just a 10th over his teammate Harlan Marquis. 1-3 for TF10 so far. Very, very nice. And on board with Jacopo, he sets the purple first, set to the 28.1. Looking really strong here. His teammates in 6th to 28.0. I expected Nardi's to be a little bit higher, to be honest. Nardi's normally one of the quick drivers, but he's still, 7/10 off the back of the Komsky. So that is not ideal for the start of the session for him. Still on board with Jacopo. He comes out of turn 10. You can see he takes a little bit of an apex, which is really nice. And can't hear the game. My bad. Sorry about that. It should be on now. Sorry about that one, everyone. As we see, it all goes wrong. If it goes wrong once, it'll go wrong for everything. So you can hear the game now. Sorry about that one, Adam. And sorry to anyone else who questioned it in the chat. But yeah, you can hear the game, and Jacopo's invalidated. I believe that was turn 11, so that's not ideal for him at all. So he won't be setting the first lap. Well, he will, but it'll just be later. And that's Rysiek round then at, I believe that's it, it's turn 8. If people don't know Rysiek by his first name, he's also known as Snatch, so that's probably where most people know him as, but we'll call him Rysiek as that's his name here today. Bartosz Salansky. Oh, and he's gone straight on at turn 11. That was Not ideal. On my screen, it looked like he went completely straight, but you must have obviously lost the rear going into the corner. So ET8 having a shocking start so far. Haven't set a lap at all. They're 18th and 20th. Alexander Johansson now just coming through in towards turn 9. His TV8 teammate is in 10th with a 28.3. So Alex normally racing around, I think, PSGL F3, F4 on the PC side. So he should be one of the quick guys up near the top. Zielinski sets up 33.8. Obviously not representative time at all for the ET8 driver. But Sunboard Johansson, he comes through into turn 12, and this is where we saw Bartos go off track. Luckily, Alexander doesn't repeat that action, goes purple in that middle sector with an 8.689 split. Very nice there, and he's now going to charge down in towards turn 14 and 15. I don't even class turn 15 as a corner, because it's not. It's literally one corner, but because it's got the slightest change of direction, it's classed as a corner. And you can see this is here is classed as a corner, which is ridiculous, and he's let off at the exit, Alexander Johansson, so he won't be setting the first lap, which is a big shame for him. Not sure if anyone else is just crossing on a lap. Yes, he is. He's just coming through into turn 12 as we speak. His teammates up into 12. Not the best time, really, is it? 29.2. Got a lot of time to gain. That's nearly 2 turns. He's left on the exit of turn 13. And that was scary. And he nearly went through the barrier and did a Roman Grosjean. Luckily, well, the car's fine. Yeah, that's a big shame for Isaac. I don't think it was the quickest lap. Tygo Hardy goes quickest with a 27.290, just a tenth, a half tenth over Lekomsky. So very nice lap there, putting TF into the 1st and 5th positions. So yeah, not a bad start for not a good start for ET8, not a good start for TTL at all. And you think ET8 really would be the drivers who'd have a good start. You know, they're one of the top teams. Everyone knows who ET8 are, but the fact they're only 14th and 19th, it's, you know, not really good for them at all starting the event. So I'm just going to switch over to the other screen, which has got the point system for a second, and you can see the person who gets first gets 30 points, followed by 25 points for second and 20 points for third. Then fourth gets 17. Then after that, fifth all the way down to 19th, 15 to 1. So it goes down by each position by 1 point. And then 20th gets 0. So everyone, apart from the 20th driver, will get a point. Meaning someone retires, just say one person will retire, everyone else will get points. So it's very good for the teams who have slower drivers who may be stuck down in that bottom midfield towards the backfield. We'll switch back to the game now as we get ready, I believe, for the second runs of the session. Casper Priest up by in that first sector by 600ths of a second. He's now charging down in towards turn 8 and shortly up in towards 9. You can see he's taking low gears into that, into second, then up to third. Normally, going to be shifting down to third, short shifting straight up to 5th on the exit, really. Shift into this, you can see Casper taking very low gears here. Maybe that works for him, but I don't think it's the matter at least, as he's now going to got the DRS open, charges down towards 11. He's going to break at the 15-meter board, shifts down to 4th, hits the curb on the entry. You can see kind of rides, well, I wouldn't say rides the apex, but he rides the curb without touching it on the exit of 11. Into 12, rides the curb on the exit. Now he's up by 6/10. So this puts him to around a 28.5 at the moment. See if he doesn't improve in this final sector, but I'm sure he will do. This comes into turn 14 and 15. Brakes just at the 100-meter board. Chucks it into the corner. You can see choosing not to ride the exit on the exit curb, which many other drivers decide to do, but he has gone against it. Set to 28.485. Puts him into 12th. Which still, he's got a lot of time to gain, considering we've got Tygo Hardy 1.2 seconds up the road. And Giraffe to line out. Is he on a lap, or is he's starting a lap now? So we'll go on board with Fabio Merhofer, who's just currently coming through the exit of turn 4 now in towards 5, 6 and 7. He's up by a tenth and a half in that middle set, so that's very nice. Currently put him on around to 27.9. That would put him, 2 positions up into that top 7. Be really ideal for QRT. Lundell, his teammates, also on an out lap now. He's just coming through into turn 13, but we're going to stick on board with Merhofer. We're going to go on board with him actually and watch him as he comes out the exit of turn 10. You can see easily just able to get the throttle down on the exit into 4th, into 5th. Now he's going to go up to 7th and he's going to break just the 50-meter board and then chucks it in into 5th. Bit of a squabble on the entry. Oh, bit of a correction on the exit. Now in towards turn 12, you can see wanted to just about hit that curb to give you a bit of rotation on the car. 1.5 tenths up, well 1.8 tenths up in that middle sector. Very nice. Now he's got a lot of time though to gain in this final sector, as he's only looking for a 27.9 at the moment, which would put him in 7th. And now into the final corner. Ooh, misses the apex though, so that'll lose him a bit of grip on the exit. Rides the curb all the way down, out of 15. Now up towards the line. Where can Fabio improve to? 2.5 tenths, improves up to 6th. Very nice there from the QRT driver. We'll go on to his teammate, who's currently down in 15th. He's just coming through in that first sector, 20.8 28.3 in the first sector. He's now just charging down in towards turn 8. So you can see, just taking the apex on the entry, very nice on the exit, able to get the power down really easily, which is really good for their setups, obviously. You know, they're able just to get the foot down and just charge down towards the next approaching corner. Ooh, a bit of a slide there, although on the exit of turn 10. Not ideal, lose a little bit of time there. But he has still got another run to do after this. Obviously, we've got 6 minutes left still. Breaks at the 50-metre board into turn 11. Misses the apex completely on the entry, which will compromise his lap time and also compromise him through into turn 11. Hops in the curb completely. Then at turn 12, something we haven't seen many drivers do, but it all depends on the setups, how the ride height, how the suspension all works for the car. And he was purple in that middle sector. I'm not sure if that was a purple overall, but it was for him in that case anyway. And he's now coming into the final corner. What time can Sebastian Lundell set on the board? He hasn't set a time yet, currently down 15th. When he gets into the 27s, it looks like it. He'll set 27.934. Puts him 8th on the board, just 2 positions behind his teammates. So not the worst start for QRT at all. Giraffu's down by a time, and Lukomski improves to a 27.238, puts him onto that top spot for now, just 700ths ahead of Tycho Hardy. And Legend Rosenberg also in third now, with a 27.476 on it to that one. Miltos Karafaludis goes into, oh no, he's already been in fourth, ignore me, he was in fourth already. And that is also, who was that? That was Bottas Zalatsky into sixth with a 27.569. So ETA having a better start than they did before. The bottom four still not out on a lap yet. And Jacopo invalidated, but it would have been a 27.940. That would have put him into 10th, ahead of his teammate Nardi Perez. And I think for now, that might be all the time's done. We'll have a little look at Tycho Hardy, as he's just coming through in towards turn 11 now. I think he will be looking to improve. We'll see. As he comes out of turn 12, does he improve? He's up by 200, so it's not enough yet to take that top spot from Lukomski, but it is enough to get himself a bit further away from Legend behind. As he now charges down in towards turn 14 and 15, he's got to get this right. He's got to brake right. He's got to get on the throttle so he doesn't spin. Oh, and you can see a bit of a slip. Oh, a bit of a couple of slides there from Tycho. And he goes into pit, so he definitely lost time there. Big, unfortunate moment there for Tycho. And Lukomski's not on a lap. Legend Rosenberg is going to get started for a lap, I think. So we'll go on board with him now, as he's coming in towards turn 14 and 15. No, actually, I don't know if he's on a lap. We'll go on board. I think he is. Is he? He's on a lap. So Legend Rosenberg currently up in third with 27.4. If he wants to get through on Tycho and... are you the original Nathan? I am the original Nathan, yes. The one from QRT. Legend Rosenberg currently 4 tenths? No, 2 tenths behind Tycho and Lukomski. So he's got a lot of time to gain on this lap. He's still going to have, I think, just enough time to set a third lap or a fourth run. But he's going to have to really push for it on his in lap and his next out lap. And he's just coming through sector 1. Does he improve? Oh, going through a ghosty car. That's scaring for a second. And that is going to be down by 15 thousandths of a second. So not the most ideal start, but it's not the end of the world. He's still got that second and third sector to go. Julio Figueira goes up into 7th to 27.707. So puts him into the top 8 with his teammate. Still down in 12th. So a lot of time yet to gain for Giraffu. And still on board with Legend now as he comes out of turn 10. And easily able to get in the power. Gets to the RS Open. Now charges down the back straight in towards turn 11 and 12. You can see braking nice and late. Hops the apex on the entry, rides the wide line on the exit to then get a nice line in towards turn 12. Swings it all the way around, hits the curb, then wants to hit the curb on the exit, rides it all the way. 400ths up in that middle setup, so not enough to improve him in terms of position, but it will be enough to get him a little bit further away from Miltos, who's only 5,000, 6,000 behind him. And Charles Sutton says, Rusty is stuck on the track, he's DC'd. That's not ideal at all. And yeah, it says he was in the pit, yeah. He's DC'd. And Legend Rosenberg doesn't set his lap time, so that would have been possibly a mistake coming out the final couple of corners. But not ideal for Isaac Rusty's. Yes, you can see his car's glitching there. That could cause an issue. Hopefully he doesn't have this type of issue in the race. But luckily, he's ghosted, so it'll be avoided. But Rysiek Masuski now, also known as Snatch. He's just coming on to his first lap of the race with 2 minutes left to go. Not ideal for Snatch or Rysiek at all, as he comes out of turn 2 now, up towards 3. And then he's going to ride the curb on the exit, gets to the RS Open as he charges down towards turn 4. Lukomski out, Miltos, Bartos, all the top runners also getting out onto their laps now. The pit lane is going to become an absolute traffic jam as they all charge out the pits. I think there's only one person left in the pit lane, that is... I think that's Legend. Yeah, he's not going to be setting another lap. And Rysiek now into turn 8 in the Alpine. His teammate up in 6th, so nice qualifying from him. Figueira's retired on track. No, he's retired in the pit lane, sorry. So that is all the qualifying over for Figueroa. So it's all down to Girofu to get NLR some good positions in this qualifying session. You can see a lot of drivers then at turn 4 and 5 all having to move out the way for each other. So we could see some people get blocked. I'm not quite sure who else is on a lap. But we'll just, oh, and Risiek's round! So that's, I think Risiek's qualifying over. So he doesn't set a lap, which is really not ideal for him. So he'll probably start last. Alexander Johansson is currently on a lap. He's just coming down in towards turn 11. Let's see if he can set a lap on the ball, get himself ahead of Risiek, Lars and Rusty, who won't be setting laps. I don't think Isaac will as either, because he's still DC'd and he's still on the track. As you can see, the AlphaTauri on the exit at turn 4. Alexander, 6.1 in that middle sector. Very nice there. Could get him into that top 10. This is his final run of the session, I believe, as he's been out of cycle with everyone else. That's also an ET8 driver down off at turn 13. That probably will be Risiek. Oh, and Alexander going completely wide. Surely that time will not go through, because that puts him pin on, but he did go off track to get it. So that will probably be looked at by the stewards. We're going to go on board with Jacopo. He's coming out of the final corner. He's not on a lap. Is Lars Butterman on a lap? Yes, he is. But we want to have a look at Simon Lekomsky, as he's going to be starting this final lap of this qualifying session. Currently in first. He's got a good 700th gap to Tycho Hardy. But if Tycho can get, or even Miltos and Harlem, if they can get something out on this final lap, that could be Lekomsky's pole over. Fabio Mayhofer's retired on track. The exit at turn 4 there. So that's really not ideal for him. And then Risiek has retired in the pit lane, so he knows that's his qualifying over, and he'll be starting dead 20th. But Julio and Fabio, not the most ideal for their qualifying sessions to end in the pit lane. Rosenberg does finish, though, with a 27.4, and that is Lekomsky up by 700ths of a second there in that first sector. That is magnificent from Lekomsky. I think it was Esports. They set a 26.8 or 9, I believe. So Lekomsky, you know, right close to that time of the esports drivers. And that's Lars Butterman up to 7th to 27.650. Puts him into just a couple of positions behind his teammate. Currently, Shizu will be starting 4th and 7th. Obviously, that can all change with everyone else on their runs. But we're still going to stick on board with Lekomsky now as he comes through to the end of that middle sector. Does he improve? He's up by 600, so he's lost a little bit of time in that second sector. But it's not too bad. He's still improved. He can still get himself into the 27.1s. Tycho Hardy just ahead of him. We'll go on board with Tycho. Does he improve up towards the line? He does improve, but not enough to get through on Lekomsky. I think this is Lekomsky's pole at the moment. We'll stick on board. That's Jacopo Grillo up to 3rd. Lekomsky improves to a 27th lap there. Very nice lap from Lekomsky. Harlan Marquis, his teammate, comes up towards the line. Can he improve? He improves to 2nd. It's currently 1-2 for the TF10 pair. Victor Santana is down by 21 seconds. Casper Priest is down. Nardi Perez is up by 3/10. Can he get himself into that top 4? Up to the line, goes 5th. So that is the qualifying session over now. And what a qualifying from TF10. 1st and 2nd, TF taking 3rd and 6th, and FVR 4th and 5th. This is going to be close between the top 6. So the top 9 is what? 4 teams. 5 teams, sorry, are in the top 9. 6 teams in the top 10. So this is going to be really close. The top 7, that is separated by 4 teams. So this is going to be really, really good in the race. And, you know, it's all at the points. Everyone down to 19th can earn a point. So just say you spin out that one and you drop down to 19th, you can still earn a point. So there's not really much excuse for drivers to retire in the pit lane. No excuse at all. But look there, Lekomsky, I believe for 7.75. I'm not quite sure what that is. I believe it might be a team, maybe. Not sure. But he's going to qualify just a 10th and a half ahead of his teammate, Harlan Marquis. Really nice qualifying from the two. Harlan said to me multiple times, this is one of the tracks he likes. He's always likes Bahrain. So no wonder to see him up in that top spot. Tycho Hardy, Jacopo Grillo, Nardi Perez, Legend Rosenberg, Miltos Karafaloudis, Bartosz Solinsky, Lars Button and Julio Figueroa take out your top 10. And we have Fabio, Alexander, Sebastian, Girofu, Akos, Casper, Victor, Rusty, and I think the last one was Risiek where's his name? Marzuski, there we go. It's going to take me a while to learn some of the names because they are difficult to say, especially when they're Polish names. I could never learn Polish names for some reason at all. And looking in the chat, never let Lars cook again. Well, he's doing well, isn't he? Qualified into that top 8. And that's all really in the chat. But yeah, we're going to get started very shortly for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 1 here of the 4th season of the EML League. I'm new here, so if there's anything that works different to normal, please correct me, but I believe it will be the same as any league race. But we're going to get started very, very shortly. Everyone's going to be getting the setups ready, the tyres ready to see what strategies to take into the race. If you're on hards, your pit window probably between lap 16 and lap 19, but obviously you can be earlier and later. But there we are. Waiting for players. We've got 1 red light, 2 red light, 3 red light, 4 red light, 5 red light. The 2 TF10s starting at the front. And it is lights out for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Really nice start from the 2 TF10 pairs. Togo Hardy also looking to get through on Harlan Marquis down at turn 1. I don't think he's going to be close enough to Lukomski, but also that's Jacopo going up the inside. Legend Rosenberg putting himself into 3rd. Really nice start from the TF pair there. Harlem down to 4th, fighting with Jacopo on the exits of turn 3. And that's also Bartosz Salinski getting involved. He's going to go for a move on Jacopo into turn 4. Can he get through? He's going to try. Jacopo around the outside, Bartosz up the inside, now into turn 5 and 6. And they're going to go side by side, but now Bartosz slips just behind. Miltos Karfaloudis is going to be fighting with Nardi Perez as they come out of that first corner. That's, I think, Isaac Rusty down at turn 4. He's hit the wall, I believe, or he's just spun. And still, Nardi and Miltos still fighting as they head up in towards turn 9 and 10. They're going to go side by side into this corner. Got to be careful not to lock up. Miltos still fighting for this position for 7th. Nardi pushed off track a little bit there, and it's going to compromise Lars Butterman as they come out of turn 10, and Lars getting through on Nardi as well. So the 2 Shizou pair now up into that top 8. Very nice start, really bad for Nardi. Started in that top 5, now down to 9th. And looking a little bit further behind, Nardi still pressuring on the back. And that is, I believe, Bartosz going wide. Nardi up the inside now of Lars Butterman as they come out of turn 13. Bit of a slide. And that's Lars going off track. And also Alexander Johansson getting involved as they come down to the back straight in towards turn 14 and 15. Lukomski still leads the race after lap 1. And we've still got this 3-car battle here. That's Miltos, I think, going off track. Still fighting with Lars and Alexander as they come down the main straights, heading in towards turn 1. Lars right on the back of that McLaren, and also Alexander just sitting in behind, waiting for the carnage to happen ahead. And also, oh, that was Nardi nearly hitting the back of Miltos in towards turn 1 there, and Nardi still having that position over Lars Butterman, and Alexander Johansson just slipping behind into 10th. And if I look correctly, on that Mercedes of Harlem, it looks like there's a little bit of damage on the front end plate. And still Lars pushing after Nardi onto... Oh, and that's a spin for Lars Butterman. He's round, and he's now going to be down into that bottom 5. So really bad start for Lars. Not what he wanted, just lost it on the exit completely. And Togo Hardy still pushing after Simon Lukomski as they come out into turn 9 and 10 again. Lars getting through on Casper Priest. Also, we've still got Alexander and Nardi fighting. Nardi really, really struggling to hold his position and under lots of pressure. That's Miltos there going a little bit wide ahead down at the exit of turn 10. And still Alexander on the back of Nardi Perez heading to turn 11 for the 2nd time of the race. But really nice start from the TF pair. Unfortunate for Harlan Marquis to be dropping down to 4th. Nardi recovering a little bit, but I was down into 9th up to 8th now. And yeah, that was a really interesting start, but big shame for Lars Butterman. At the moment, he's going to be only 5 points out this race, and he started in that top 7. So big shame so far, but the top 2 teams are going to be taking home so many points if they can keep that 1 to 4. And the Komski takes the fastest lap yet again as we head on to lap 3 of the Grand Prix, where DRS now will get enabled. And we're going to go on board with Nardi Perez. He's right on the back of Miltos, and Miltos losing DRS to Bartosz Salinski, which is really not ideal. As soon as you lose the DRS around here, that can cause many issues. We can see Akos and Casper fighting just behind, down for P17 down at turn 1, but we're still going to stick on board in Nardi because look, he's gaining on the back of Miltos Karafaloudis as they head into turn 4. Obviously, not going to be close enough to make a move at all. He's still 5 tenths behind, but Miltos has got a lot of work to do to get himself back into that train of Bartosz, Jacopo and the guys ahead. So a lot of work for him to do. And Alexander Johansson just slotting himself behind, just chilling in 9th. Not really pushing too much after Nardi, but he's able to stick within 3 or 4 tenths of him. Miltos gaining 2 tenths on Bartosz there in that final, on the exit, sorry, of turn 8. So he's now going to look to get himself back into that DRS. Can he do it? I don't think it's going to be enough. It's not. Just outside yet again. So close, 8 thousandths out to Bartosz. But Nardi still got the DRS as they head back into turn 11 through into 12. And you can see Tycho not really pushing after getting through on Lukomski. I think his main battle is not to get the position just to stick behind for DRS, as they are the net lead of the race. We're going to look at the tyres now. We can see everyone on hards apart from Victor Santana, who pitted and has headed onto some medium tyres. So not a good start for FFC, currently 13th and 20th. TTL having a really poor start as well, down in 18th and 19th, only going to be scoring 3 points as total today. And Bartos and Iskino, Miltos Karafaloudis says, I'll be taking the fastest lap, thank you very much, with a 31.801. And we head on to the 4th lap of the race, and you can see Tycho gaining a little bit on the back of Lekomsky, going on board with Giraffu, who's on the back of his teammate, Julio Figuera. And also that's Sebastian Lundell, looking for a bit of an opening to get a move on. Giraffu will go on board with Sebastian. I don't think he's going to be close enough. No, he's not. But he was getting close into turn 1. I can tell that for sure. He was right on the back of that Tenelar car. And Johansson with a 3-second time penalty. That is not what he wants. That will compromise possibly 3 or 4 positions. So that's really, really poor from him. He doesn't want to be having to deal with time penalties, especially around a track like this. It's so hard to gain time on the guys ahead, on the guys behind. So it's going to cause a bit of trouble. But Lundell still on the back of Giraffu, who's ahead into turn 9 and 10. I think the action's got to calm down for now. It's good because he can give my voice a relax, because Jesus Christ, my voice is dead already after 2 laps. So the battle's going to calm down now. It's more going to be about people just trying to keep the positions, control the tyre wear, control the ERS, maybe help the teammates, help their teammates out if needed, all stuff like that. Now as they get onto this stint, they'll be on these tyres until around lap 60 to 20, depending on when you want to pit. Might even be early, I'm not quite sure, but I think it's around lap 15 plus onwards. And I want to have a look at Hong, because I'm not sure, but it did look like he had damage on his car. And we'll see as he comes down the straight. Has he got damage? See, oh no, he hasn't. It just looked like his end plate was a bit twitched, but it's not. It's all fine, so ignore me on that. TF10 Harlem has not got any damage. And we can see now, look at Nardi gaining and gaining and gaining on the back of Miltos Karafaloudis in towards turn 1. Obviously, 5 tenths behind. He doesn't need to make a move because he can just stick behind in the DRS. Because just say he gets through a Miltos, still may lose 1 or 2 tenths fighting in turn 1 through to 3. Then they end up 1.4 seconds behind Bartos. So it doesn't really help Nardi at all. It'll just lose him DRS and let Miltos get through on him again. As also, Giraffu, he's gaining on his teammate. You think really, because of how much quicker Giraffu might swap them around. Lars Botman fight with Fabio Merhofer down at turn 8, gets through on the QRT driver, puts himself into 14th. This would decide 7th. It's not where he wants to be, but he's making the amends. He was down at, I think, 17th or 18th at one point, now up into that top 14th. So he's gained a few positions, which is nice. And we now head on to the back straight. Fabio gaining on Lars, but not close enough. And sorry if I cough. I had a Snickers bar earlier, and I got one of the bits of the peanut stuck in my throat, which isn't ideal. So you might have to excuse me for a second while I take a quick drink. That's better, yeah. I can still feel it in the back of my throat, but I'll deal with it. It's all disappear. He's going to head on to lap 7 of the race, lap 6, sorry, of the race, and on board with Fabio Merhofer. He's on the back of Lars Botman. Fabio, we haven't seen much of him recently on this game. He used to play a lot at the start. I think he kind of dropped back, though, once the game cycle got into play because of how poor the game is. So, yeah, it's nice to see him back into league racing now, helping QRT out. Obviously joined them a couple of months ago as a main team driver. Only reason I know this was because I was in QRT before. So no, I'm not there now. So there's no worrying of any bias at all. Otherwise I would have showed it by now. And Casper and Akos, look how much time they're losing. 3.1 seconds now it is between Akos and Rysiek. And Rysiek started in 20th, so considering he's now up to 16th. Really nice start from him. And be on board with Lars Butterman into turn 10. I forgot it completely then. I'm going to have a look at the lap data and the telemetry just to get it on board so we can see the driver's inputs. And for some reason we can't see Lars's inputs on the screen, which is an ideal. There we go, they're back now. So we can see them back again. You can see, you've got to be very careful on the throttle coming out of turn 11. You can see on Lars's telemetry, you've got to feather it. Just slowly increase the throttle until you get it to full throttle. And you can see now right in the back of Alex. Lars has got some mega pace at the moment, going to look to get through on the Red Bull. Is he going to try and get him down to 14? No, he's not. You can see Alex has either got lower wings or he's burning a little bit more battery than Lars is. As we look at that, how much brake later Lars can brake on the back of the Red Bull driver. Now we're going to head out of turn 15. Look at that speed Lars has got. Absolutely flying through. He's going to try and get through on the Red Bull driver down to turn 1. I can't see Alex trying to defend. And he does try and defend, tries to push back after Lars. Goes a little bit deep. I think he locked up a little bit there on the exit of turn 1. He went a little bit deep, but it doesn't compromise the position. Nardi and Miltos fighting yet again into turn 4. And Nardi's ahead of Miltos Karfaloudis. Miltos going a little bit wide though on the exit of turn 5. So not ideal for him, but great overtake there from Nardi. Puts himself into that top 7. Now he's going to be looking to get through into that DRS range of Bartosz Zielinski. I don't know if his teammates will be helping by backing up Bartosz a little bit. I'm not sure. But we head now into turn 9 and 10. And you can see Miltos gaining right in the back of Nardi. As the gap is 3/10, 4/10. And it's going to just stick around that for now, I think. I can't see getting any closer than that. Unless Miltos can get some absolute mega speed down the straight and get through. But I think all the squabbling between the two is just going to cause more trouble. If they're just, it's going to lose them more time if they keep squabbling down into turn 1 and down into turn 4. But the front, nothing's really happening there. The top 4 sitting where they are. Actually, the top 6 pretty much the same. With the Kompsky leading Tycho, leading Legend, Harlem, Jacopo, Bartosz and Nardi is our top 7. Then the bottom 4, unfortunately, is Victor, Isaac, Casper and Akos. And Harlem Marquis sets the fastest lap of the race with a... Oh, sorry, Nardi Perez takes that offer, a 31.323. As they head now down into turn 1 yet again, you can see Miltos not really looking to gain. And... not speak to me. And Miltos, yet again with the DRS Open on the back of Nardi. Nardi's actually gained on the back of Bartosz. 1.1 seconds now is the gap between the two. So Nardi's got to gain 1.5 tenths in that middle sector. Well, up and towards turn 9 to get himself back into that DRS. A bit of a snap there on the exit of turn 5. Now in towards 6 and 7. And that's the thing with this track. I like the corner, but it's very difficult down at turn 6 and 7 because you've got to make sure you don't go wide on the exit. Because if you do, first of all, you're going to have to let off so you don't end up spinning. Second of all, you're riding the curb. That's not what you want to do. And also, it's just, for me, I find it difficult to drive there because you constantly change your position. And you need to ride, well, not ride, but you need to touch the curbs on the entries of 6 and 7 in order to get the wheel rotation. And sometimes if you touch that a little bit too much, you're going to end up spinning. You touch that barely, and you're going to carry too much speed through there, and you're going to have to let off completely. So it's a very difficult part to get right. It's very difficult to get quick there. Anyone can drive it, but in order to be quick there, it's a real struggle. But still on board in Nardi as we head down in towards turn 14 and 15. We're going to have a little look at someone else. We'll go up and we'll look at Legend Rosenberg. Coming the back of his teammate, Tycho Hardy. I think Tycho was TF Rudy on the PlayStation and Legend was TF Legend. So the two former PlayStation drivers driving for Talent Factory on the PC platform. Doing a great job switching over to PC. Really nice. Currently running 2nd and 3rd. Lukomsky, though, had a really nice start. Absolutely amazing. And Harlem also up in 4th. That's great for him. So at the moment, if we look at the points, it looks like it's going to, what? 47 to TF10. And to TF, so Talent Factory without the 10, there will be 45. So it'll be 2 points behind the 2, between the 2 finishes like this. Obviously, it can all change under pit stops, and different people can get undercuts, overcuts. There can be incidents, safety cars, absolutely anything can happen. On lap 9, we ain't going to see anyone pick at least for another 6 or 7 laps now, unless someone's going to go for a stupid undercut on the mediums, and that's Lafoupe. That's him down at turn 8. Really big shame, and he's still down. He's going to be losing positions to Casper as well. That puts now FFC 18th and 20th. That's 2 points going to take home. It's put TTL into 17th and 19th, so they'll be taking 4 points, but it's not what Alex wants, and it's not what F1 Friends Cup wants either. I haven't really seen them much on the PC platform, so I'm not quite sure how much they do on here. And I don't know anything about the PS platform really, so I'm not quite sure if they're over there or not. I've seen the name about, but also we look back at Harlem, look at that gap to the back of Legend Rosenberg as they come out of the final corner. Is Harlem going to look for an overtake and put himself into 3rd? He's gaining. Is it going to be enough down to turn 1? He's gaining. That's 2 tenths. Just under a tenth. He's going to push for a dive, but no, we're not. He's going to sit back for now. So no needing for Legend to go defensive. No need for Harlem to push and brake later. So Harlem still going to be stuck in 4th now behind Legend and Tycho. A little further down we got Jacopo on the back of Harlem as they come through, and Bartosz Very close to losing that 1 second to Jacopo. It's not what he wants at all. In the session, he's 1,000 down on his best time, actually, which is quite cool. And Sebastian fighting with Girafu into turn 6 and 7. Girafu breaking later. Gets the inside line into turn 7. And is that going to be Sebastian going to go around the outside? No, because Girafu closes on had the last second. And also Lars Butterman there, breaking late. I think nearly hit the back of the QRT driver there as headed into turn 8. And now the three of them, Lars, Sebastian, Girafu, are all fighting for that 11th place. And let's see, out of turn 10, which one's going to come out on top? They've all got the DRS apart from Girafu, who's going to be at a disadvantage. On board with Sebastian, not close enough. Lars, not close enough. So now it'll be down to turn 1 to see what they can do. And coming out of turn 11, now into turn 12, the little train between the Alfa, Aston and the Williams. And Lars obviously, you know, started 7th, spun, ended up in 17th, now in 13th, looking for possibly, if you can get a nice exit at turn 15, could be looking for a P11 here so far. So really nice comeback from him so far. Lap 10 of the race, lap 11 now as we begin the lap. And Lukomski still leads from Tycho, and Tycho closing, but obviously not enough to make a move, so we don't need to worry about that for now. I just want to stay on board with Christian because Julio's let off and gave some DRS to his teammate, so we can't see any moves for Sebastian or Lars whatsoever just yet. And I don't think we also... Actually, let's go up to the top because Tycho gaining right on the back of Lukomski into turn 4. Right on the back of the driver there as they come through out to turn 5 now. A bit like what we saw with Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton going into turn 4 for a second. Really, really close behind, but just not close enough to make a move. And now he comes out of turn 8. You can see he's got a lot of pace, Tycho has, so he's going to be pushing now. Let's see, can he try and push and get through on Lukomski as they come out of... into turn 9, into turn 10. You can see breaking a lot later for Tycho. And he's going to have the DRS on the exits. He's going to be charging after the back of Lukomski. Lukomski's on 54%, whereas Tycho's on 78%. So he's got a lot more battery at his disposal to use for the rest of this race. He's going to charge out of turn 11 in towards turn 12 now. And the gap 4 tenths between the two at the top. It's going to be getting closer. And we could also see an overtake possibly down to turn 1 because Tycho really putting down the pace now on the back of Lukomski. He was sitting around 6-7 tenths now. He's not letting Lukomski get any further than 4 tenths. You can see 3.5 tenths of the gap coming into turn 14. And on turn 15, you can see Tycho a little bit less when he comes to riding the curbs over Lukomski. He's got the DRS open. He's going to be charging after the Mercedes down towards turn 1. Can he get through on Lukomski? He's going to brake later, but he lacks off. I think he's going to get the DRS. He goes wide, they'll go steep. Then they push each other off track as they head into turn 1, now turn 2 and 3. DRS for Tycho Hardy as he comes out, and I think he's took the lead of the race over Simon Lukomski. But Lukomski's still going to fight back into turn 4. He's going to brake late, go for the outside. No, he can't. Can he get a switch back on the Ferrari? He's going to go for it. He's going to be side by side nearly. He's ahead into turn 6, but just not close enough. And now Tycho with the net lead of the race. Very nice overtake from there from Tycho and really clean battling from the two. But now it puts TF 1 and 3 and TF 10 2 and 4. So really nice there from the TF pair. There we're going to have to see if Legend Rosenberg can do what Tycho did on the Lukomski and get himself onto that 1-2 spot. As they now head out of turn 10 down to 11. They're going to have the DRS open, but not going to be looking to make any moves just yet. Legend on the back of Simon Lukomski is coming to turn 13, and he's got to try and get through on Lukomski. If they can get a 1-2, this will be really, really good for the TF pair. That will give them 55 points coming out of this round, which would be really, really nice. And you can see Legend 3 tenths behind. Big slide from Lukomski though. That's going to compromise his exit and compromise his top speed. He's going to get through him before turn 1. So that now puts Legend fighting. Is he going to fight for his teammate? I don't think he is. And he's now going to be taken into that second position, into turn 1. But Lukomski's still going to fight back. Lukomski's going to get the DRS as they come out to turn 2. They're pushing each other off track as they come out to that second turn, out to turn 3. And they're side by side coming down into turn 4. Lukomski still ahead, but that's going to be Legend up the inside into turn 4. Very close, nearly a bit of contact between the two. And I think that was Lukomski going a little bit wide at the exit of turn 5, but he still keeps that second position. So now Lukomski up to second still. And Legend's got a lot of work to do. He knows Lukomski's not here to mess around. And this could also get Harlem involved in the fight as they come out of turn 8 in towards turn 9 and 10. So Legend, it's not going to be as easy as he thought it was when they went down the main straight. Look at that gap though. Lekomsky and Tycho separated by just over a second now. Well, just under a second. And just over a second out for a split sec. So if Lekomsky is out of the DRS to Tycho, this puts Legend in such a good position. Because as soon as Legend can get through on Lekomsky, Tycho can just barely lead up, barely, what's the word? Lift off the throttle, sorry, there we go. Lift off the throttle. So then we can get Legend back into DRS, and look at this now. Legend is absolutely going to fly past Lekomsky. Tycho takes the fastest lap of the race. Legend up the inside, through on his rival into turn 1. There we go. That's Legend into second. So it's a TF1-2 and a TF10 3-4. Now I expect to see Tycho lift off a little bit to give his team at DRS. It'd be common sense in my opinion, but I don't know. They're running their own race. I don't really know what's going on for them. But Lekomsky, you can see now, just 5 tenths behind. The gap 1.1 seconds, 1.12. So it's just hovering around that 1.1. Legend. Fastest in sector 1 there so far, with a 2 tenths quicker than his previous time. And they got 1.084, and the chat's been disconnected. I hope that's nothing my end. Hopefully, let me know if the chat there's an issue my end, because it's saying that the chat's been disconnected. So I hope there's no issue. Just let us know. As we ride the exit now, Legend gonna not be in the DRS over his teammate, and this is gonna compromise him even more. And we're successfully connected, so I believe everything's sorted, which is great news. But Lekomsky, 4 tenths behind the back of Legend Rosenberg now as they come through in towards turn 11. Jacopo. Also, we're not talking about him too much in these last few laps. He's on the back of Harlem and just sitting around that 5-tenth gap. So, not really looking for a move, but could be looking to possibly get something done in the pit lane under strategy. Because obviously, TF and TF10, and even, I suppose I could even say, FVR, they can just sit back. No, sorry. They can sit back. No, they've got to pit at different times. Hello Liam, welcome into the chat. Thanks Adam for letting me know. It's good, it's working. And that's Harlem into the pit lane. So now his teammate is going to have to pit probably this lap as he's on the back of Legend. And also that means Legend and Tycho are going to have to pit at different times, because obviously they're not going to make the double stack work. Obviously it's 1.3 seconds, but then again it's Ferrari. Should we be surprised if they go for it? Probably not. Now we're heading to turn 4. You can see Lekomsky right in the back of Legend, so it'd make sense now if Legend was to pit, because it'd then make the gap between Tycho and Lekomsky even bigger, meaning then Lekomsky wouldn't have DRS. So realistically it would work, but they might play it differently, I don't know. And that's even if they decide to pit this lap, they might leave it. But yeah, lap 15 is around the cut-off point where we start to see the people jump into the pits, so we'll probably see everyone pitted by around lap 19. Well, everyone who's on the original strategy, which is hard to medium at least. Lekomsky 6 tenths behind, so he's losing a little bit of time in that middle sector on the back of Legend as they head now into turn 11 once again. And Tom in the chat, hello brother. Hello Timon, I don't think I've seen you in the chat yet. So hello Timon. What brings him here? Me of course. But still on board with Miltos as well. Looking down, he's on the back of Nardi. Nardi's still not got DRS to Bartos. So could be nice for Miltos to possibly try and get a cheeky overtake or get a cheeky bit of time gained on the cars ahead. Do the top 2 pit though? Let's have a look. Is any of them going to pit? No, they stay out. So they're going for a later run. Is Lekomsky pitting? Yes, he is. So both TF10s now into the pit lane. Jacopo Grillo up into 3rd. Nardi Perez is also going to pit. So is Bartosz Zielinski. And Miltos stays out. So the top 4 currently, Tycho, Legend, Jacopo and Miltos. As everyone else is starting to pit now. We'll go on board with Harlem as we want to see where he comes out relative to Lekomsky. He's out the final corner. He's got a little bit of traffic though ahead. All the hard runners, that's not what he wants. He's going to try and have to get through on one car, get through on Casper. Now he's going to try and get through on the Haas and the Red Bull. And look at that, it's going to compromise so much. They're going to go 3 wide. That's Lekomsky having to defend from the Red Bull and the Haas. Also, Harlem go for an attack on the on the Haas and the Mercedes as they come out to turn 3 now. And Akos also getting involved. This is madness, a bit like what we saw in France last night in PSGL. 5 of them going into turn 4 together. And Harlem and Lekomsky take the top 2 at the moment there, because obviously they're on pit. Fresh tires. Oh, bit of a collision there between Akos and Casper. Not quite sure what Akos' mirrors were doing, but they definitely wasn't working properly as they come into turn 8. Oh, that was Harlem nearly in the back of his teammate. Coming into turn 8, very, very close call. Bartos on the back of Casper and Akos now. He's obviously on the new tyres, so he's going to try and get through. Goes for a Fernando Alonso overtake up the inside at turn 10. Very nice. Gets himself into 11th now. Going to have to charge after Akos, who's got a penalty, and then charge after Alex Lefio, if that's how you say it. Alex Lafou likes Alex Lafou. Not quite sure. If anyone in the chat tells me how to pronounce Alex's name, I'd be greatly appreciated for it. No, you'd be greatly appreciated for it by me. Legend into the pit lane now, as he'll be pitting onto his new set of tyres, same as Miltos Karafaloudis. So Tiger Hardy going for a bit of a later overcut over everyone else. Now watching Bartos on the back of Akos. He's going to surely be able to get through on him. Down to turn 1. And we're going to be gaining and gaining and gaining. Oh, look at that there. Very big slide from Akos. Oh, but that's a bit of contact there. And Akos into the wall. That was confusing. And we have a safety car. Or a VSC. One of the two. Let's have a look. Can we see? Is it a safety car or is it a VSC? Let's see. It's a full safety car. Not sure why that brought out the full safety car, but it did. So lap 17 of the race, we've got a full safety car. This can help Rysiek, Jacopo and Tycho to get a pit stop ahead, possibly. This is great for those guys now. Rysiek was obviously down in 20th, he stayed out late. He's going to jump a couple of positions, I think. So, yeah, really amazing, but don't have a clue what happened between Bartos and Akos. He just hit the back of him slightly. I'm not sure if it was a bit of dirty moving from Akos or if it was just Bartos getting a bit excited on the rear of the Haas. But Akos then went into the wall and somehow will take the safety car. If I race in this event, does it count to my overall? Overall what? Wins? Or overall sending people wide at corners? Sorry, Dylan. I did it again. But the comp scheme is going to be, well, Legend's going to be in that lead over Harlem, and Lekomski's dropped down to that 3rd. Bartos in that 4th, followed by Miltos, Nardi, and then we have Alexander, Fabio, Julio, Sebastian, Lars, Eurofo, Alex, Isaac, and Victor. But we have the top 2 in the pits, and we also will have Rysiek in the pits as well. TTL is no more, it's forever, haha. I'm a bit confused by that. I don't know what that's meant to mean. And you can see, where is Rysiek going to come out compared to the guys ahead? He's in the pit lane, he's getting his tyres changed, he's now heading out the pit lane. Can he get himself into that top 10? It's going to be close. He comes out. Remember, Rysiek started 20th. And he comes out in 10th. Very nice. This guy has me on ropes. But, yeah, so really nice there from Rysiek. Getting himself into that top 10. Staying out, did the Jarno Opmeer strap, stay out late and get a safety car. And it's worked. So he's now got himself fresher tyres than literally everyone apart from the 2 at the top. And that's also put Jacopo into 2nd. Really, really nice, considering he started 5th. It's putting him up to 2nd. Nardi in 8th, so really nice for the FPR guys. It's not worked out for TF10 though. They started 1 and 2, they're now running 4 and 5. Basically, I started league racing in TTL, and Maze has more wins than me. And Maze, I see TTL. Maze has more wins than me. And Maze, I see TTL racing right now, so exists as far as I'm concerned. Either I am dyslexic, or that made no sense. I'm confused. TTL, Maze has more wins than me. Plus, Maze, I see TTL racing right now, so exists as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't have a clue. I don't know why. Tattle Goats. There's a league called TTL. Oh. Ah, okay. Okay, yeah. I don't even know. My brain cells are dead at this point. It's literally 10 PM on a Friday. Yes, it is Friday evening. So I'm very tired. Tattle, I miss you every day. Cameron Cook. Hello, Cameron Cook. Welcome into the stream. Also, I like your name. It rings quite nicely. The 2 C's. I can't English and texting. Oh, texting. Oh. I thought you was English though, Dylan. I always thought you were anyway. I don't know why. You just sounds like an English name. Or maybe you are English, you just can't type. One of the 2. Is this F1 or F2? Well, if you looked at the screen, you'd be able to see the F1 cars, but it's, yeah, F1 cars. Just know Maze is legend of this sport. Never let Maze cook again. But yeah, if you mean to F1 or F2 in terms of like, is it tier 1, tier 2? Or you question the fact of is it F1 or F2 cars? Obviously it's F1 cars, but this is the top tier Esports Challenge Cup with the 2 teams. Cameron says tickle you. Don't know what that means, but F2 car, yeah, F2 cars. We've got Carlin, we've got PHM by Charouz, I believe that's the name of them. Who else we got? We've got Trident. So with a lot of I am English, yes, though the Bulgarian half of me comes out when typing. Ah, okay. To be fair, your name doesn't sound Bulgarian, so I presume you haven't got a Bulgarian name. James, welcome in, mate. Nice to see you in here. And if this is James, are you the one who sent me the I think the intro or something, or some sort of intro or picture? If I think it is, I'm not sure though. If it is, welcome in. And what's Frank FVR? Huh? TTL rocket ship. That says TTL Stefano. Tattoo says FBR time and Adam Rocco. Camera Cook says love you. Well, I don't love you, Mac. Sorry to break that to you, but I'm sure one of the drivers will love you though, if you ask them nicely enough. For someone in the chat, half and half. Ah, nice. Very cool. To be fair, I don't know many Bulgarian people, so that's actually quite cool. To be fair, I'll guess where Bulgaria is. I believe it's in Europe, but I'm probably wrong, so that'll probably offend you if it's not. But the safety car isn't in this lap because Victor Santana, I believe, has had a nice little pit stop and stopped for a drink on the side of the track, so he's still 16 seconds behind. So the safety car will be in next lap, I believe. It's not good in this lap. No, it's not. No, we're off again for another lap of the safety car. And hopefully, this will be the only safety car in this race. Get on to lap 20 of 29 now. 9 laps remaining. We'll obviously have 8 racing laps. Adam Rocco has got love for once. What a surprise. Eastern Europe. Oh, so I was correct then. So it was Europe. Timon shouldn't be engineering. Oh, he is. Ah, so Timon, you see, he's got that much respect for me. He's going to watch the stream, listen to me commentate as well as engineering. That is mad respect. Totally not watching the stream to get information off drivers, but we'll just make it seem like he's there for me. The same as Liam. I have 2 screens. Oh, I thought you didn't have a PC though. Or you doing like on your phone and your PlayStation maybe or something. I don't know. So we've got a bit of dating going on in here. For once, Richie, yeah, for once. The streaming laptop, both drivers. Ah, okay. Look at me, I have 2 screens. Ooh, yeah. I'll just say I have 4 screens. Well, I have 3, but the one doesn't get used. So. My lasagna tweet made me looked all round. Well, who doesn't love lasagna? The electricity bill looking tasty. Well, even if you've got no screens, the electricity bill's still going to be tasty. Especially if you're in the UK. Don't know about the Netherlands though. And call on laptop also. So Timon's literally an engineer. He's got all the screens, he's got all the laptops, all the computers. Got the TV as well. Maximilian equals controller boy. Ah, Maximilian, welcome in, mate. I believe you're one of the QRT heroes, aren't you? Oh, but enough of the podcast. We're going to get ready because the safety car is going to be in this lap. And you can see that Bert Moilander shooting off into the stars as he'll be heading into pit lane, hopefully for his last time today. But Tygo Hardy going to be leading the pack off with Jacopo in second and Legend Rosenberg in third with the 2 TF10s just sitting behind. Going to be looking to make a bit of a move into turn 1. And there we go. The snaking is coming out. All the drivers being snaky. Some of them are like that on Twitter as well. But Tygo Hardy now going to lead everyone off. Aids the final corner. When does he choose to go? Is he going to go late? Is he going to go early? Let's see. It's going to be weaving around and he's gone. That's it. He's off. Jacopo going to be charging after him now. He's going to be using all the ERS to try and get through, but I don't think he will. Legend Rosenberg, absolutely amazing stop. Probably in a VC with Tycho, hence why he knew when he was going to go. But he's still going to be charging dead towards turn 1. Can he get on him? No, he's going to be close. Nearly hits the rear though of the McLaren. That's Bartosz Zielinski down at the bottom of the field. That's also Alex Lafou down at the bottom of the field as well. So we had a classic league race in turn 1 as it seems. And also Harlan Marquis looking to get through on Legend round the outside. Legend's going to go for the inside line. And it's going to push Harlan out on the exit a little bit. Oh, a bit of contact there between the two off the track. But they're still going to keep it clean. Lecompsey's still stuck behind the two. Victor gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. And there we go, into turn 7. Oh, that's Lecompsey being hit by the back of Miltos, I think, or Alexander, one of the two. Anyway, as you can see, oh, that's Alexander round. The TV8 driver down, probably going to be down at the bottom. So TV8, 15th and 20th. Not good at all. As we now head out to turn 10 again for the 19th time, we've got Victor and Giraffu fighting, but I'm also here watching Sebastian and Julio as they head into turn 11 because they're getting very close. The gap between Legend and Jacopo already 1.5 seconds. So it's getting bigger. And also that's someone else running. That's Bartosz Salinski around again. I think otherwise just getting overtaken by Alexander Johansson. But obviously Alex has got that penalty, so it's going to drop into the back anyway. And also we've got two people side by side. That's Nardi and Miltos. We saw them arguing at the start of the race and it nearly ended in tears. But luckily this time it doesn't. As we head into turn 14 and 15, now you can see, look at that, Nardi basically riding the rear of that Alpha. As they head out to turn 15 now, and banging exit for Nardi Perez. He's going to try and get through a Miltos at least, unless Miltos is going to try and brake late and get the position back. Into turn 1. Let's see, so they get it. Also, a bit of contact there. So that sent Miltos into the wall a little bit, hit the tyre barrier. That allowed Fabio Merhofer through. And also Sebastian Lundell going to be looking for a move. Bartosz Salinski's retired in the pit lane. We've also got Fabio and Julio now fighting for 7th as they head up into turn 4. And also we've got Miltos and Sebastian having their little battle just behind. And this is going to be close. The 5 drivers here, all getting really close, and squiggly Julio looking for a P7 at the moment, really nice. Benefiting off the incident between Nardi and Miltos. Miltos now down to 11th. Big shame, the two Aston Martins fighting, but that's Lars Butterman on the inside of Sebastian Lundell. Put him in to try and get into P9. Let's see, does he go for a Fernando Alonso type move into turn? No, he's going to stay around the outside. That's going to be Fabio Sebastian, up the inside as I head out to turn 10. Side by side now as I head out to that turn 10. Going to be charging down towards turn 11. Is it going to be space? Yes, there is. But Sebastian, look at that. Going to go up the inside. And he's not going to keep it, though. He's going to get overtook by Lars. Lars having a really good start after that restart. Really, really nice. Getting himself back up into that top 10. And Victor Santana on the back of Miltos Karafaloudis as they come out to turn 13. I don't know if Miltos has got damage. He's got damage. Yep, his front wing end plate is gone on his left side. So that is Miltos' race. I won't say over, but it's not in an ideal situation. We've got the two TV8 drivers fighting. That's not going to be good. Hopefully they don't make a collision as they come out to turn 15. And the two TV8s together. Big shame for them. 16th and 17th at this rate. They're going to drop all Miltos into the pits. They're going to drop into possibly 17th or 18th because of the pit stops. So it's not ideal at all. We're going to look at Legend Rosenberg and Harlem fighting yet again. Legend losing lots of time to Jacopo. So I don't know if there's been more battling going on between the two. But Harlem and Legend really not messing about. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing actually. I don't think he's got damage. It's not physical damage, visual damage we can see anyway. So it's either he's got damage in the car or he's letting people, making the gap bigger. But Harlem and Lukomsky still in the back of them. And you can see there the Ferrari and the McLaren just coming out of camera as they come into camera. As we head down towards turn 11 yet again. Harlem will probably be looking for an overtake on Legend down to turn 1. Otherwise he's just going to stick behind. And Cameron being a bit weird in the chat there. I don't think Adam will be saying yes to that one though. As we head into 13 now, Harlem just 3 tenths behind Legend. He's got a little bit more pace, I think, than the driver ahead, even though he's got older tyres. Could compromise him a little bit. And you head out of into turn 14 now. Let's look at the DRS. So the DRS for Legend is 60. For Harlem, it's just under 50. So a big DRS difference between the two. And Harlem burning it all. So they come down the main straight, going to be getting through easily on Legend. Absolutely flies past him. Is Lukov's going to be able to do it as well? Into turn 1, they're going to brake late. Oh, going up the inside. Bit of a lock-up nearly from Lukomsky. Legend goes wide, goes off the track, compromises his exit on turn 2, and then into turn 3, so that's him down to 6th. And this is also going to allow Nardi Perez to try and gain and get himself into that top 5. But so far, Legend's restart isn't going the way it wants. He was looking for I think he was first at one point. Let lead. Now looking to try and secure a 6th place. Or a 5th place because Nardi's right on the back of him as they come in towards turn 8. But Lukomsky sticking all elbows out as they went into turn 4. What's the fastest lap? Let's have a little look, shall we? I think we can see it on here, can't we? Yep, the fastest lap, 29.6 from Tycho. Completely faster than everyone, actually. Really nice lap there from him. Fabio Merhofer on the back of Julio Figueroa. Oh, bit of a lock-up or something coming out at turn 10. That's letting Elias bottom through. Put him up into that 8th position. Jack... I think that's Jack Harrington, isn't it? Says in the chat, what happened to Legend? Well, he was first, dropped to, well, Safety car come out. Tycho and Jacopo come out ahead of him with the pit stops. Harlem Lukomski battered him down to turn 1 and got through, so he's now down in 5th. And then because he compromised his exit on turn 2, it allowed Nardi to get right behind and nearly get through himself. But QRT as well, you know, considering they've been performing in some other leagues in RKR and, you know, PS. But, well, I might as well just leave it at this point. I was going to say they're doing well. They've now got penalties. So, you know, honestly, well, that didn't go to plan, did it? I was going to say they're doing well, but now they've got penalties. So, yeah, that's that. Let's have a look back up. Lukomski on the back of Harlem still has a head down in towards turn 4. You can see Harlem gaining a bit of time now on Jacopo. He's gained, what, a second on the last lap alone. Oh dear, that's a little bit rough. What's a bit rough? Is it something I said? Probably was something I said, knowing me. There's Lars on the back of Julio as they head in towards turn 8. You can see Lars' pace, absolutely mega. He's going to look for a move on the outside of turn 9 now. Come on, do a Fernando Alonso. Check up the inside. Oh, no. Julio knew how to defend that. Who's commentating? I'm not good at identifying voices. Richie. Nathan Richards, depends how you know me. I was in SR when you was there, I believe, if it's you. So, yeah. You would have known me from there. Richie, Nathan Richards. I've been called many other things as well, which I'm not going to say on here because not family friendly. Oh, no need to give me a plug-in on here. I ain't going to say no to it, but, you know. There we go. James knows it. Hello, James. I believe I said too low to you earlier. But heading into turn 14 and 15, Lars Butterman on the back of Julio will be looking to get through on him. As I head out to turn 15, he's going to get into turn 1. Is he close enough? Well, he's going to be by the time they get to turn 1. Got absolutely no battery. There we go. Flies straight past him. So that's Lars Butterman into P7 and Julio down to P8. But he's going to go for a switch back. No, he's not, because Lars knew how to defend that line as I came out of turn 3. And I'll be honest, was quite surprised to see Lars fighting for points today, because it's Lars. What do we expect? Nothing good. Who? Yeah, who's Adam Rocco? I never heard of that guy before. Dylan, what? No. Listen, Dylan. There's something called a joke, you know. Listen. Right. What you did with Thomas in France, I never said I disagreed or agreed, did I? So, how do you know I'm a hater? And Alex said he hates me. And James is a goat, indeed. And Dio guess a noob. You know what? I'll give you that one. But Fabio Merhova on the back of Gilo Figueroa as they come out of turn 10, then in towards 11 yet again. We've seen a lot of Giulio and Fabio together today. A lot of it. Which is nice to see. Nice to see Williams and Aston Martin fighting for points. Obviously they're in equal cars, so it doesn't really matter about the real life performance. But still, and the top guys not really getting that close at all. 2.8 seconds between the lead, and then 1.3 between Jacopo and Harlem. And hi Dylan, says Cameron. Alberto, where's she go? Alberto, you're a goat as well, mate. You are indeed. Dylan says, oh, Dylan Warren is a goat in my books. Fair prediction. Prediction, no. Fair statements. You're going to say cool, indeed. Indeed he has. And Harlem, look at that now. Gaining a little bit now on the back of Jacopo. 1.2 seconds, 1.1. This could be a chance for Harlem to get himself into that second position. Because the thing is though, Dylan, you've got to be careful. Because last time you said Harlem was doing well. I'm sure he ended up spinning or something when he was in PSGL last night. So, you know, you've got to be careful you don't curse him in the chat. Because you managed to do it last time. But Harlem on the back of Jacopo, 1.2 seconds as they head into towards turn 10. On the exit, no DRS for Harlem this time, so he's got a lot to do in the corners that involve no DRS and involve high speed. So he's got a lot of work to do, but I'm sure he can do it. Harlem's one of the experienced guys here. I've seen him on here for a long time. I think he was on here since F1 2020. Alexander Johansson with another 3-second time penalty, which isn't ideal at all. So now that's Alexander probably going to... Ooh. I think he might actually keep that 14th position because Isaac's 8 seconds behind. So unless Isaac can gain 2 seconds on him, Alex might be able to get that 14th. And Alex says, Harlem, please push harder. I'm sure Harlem's probably trying to do that himself. He wants to. And look, he's pushing because he's now within 1.1 seconds of Jacopo. as they head down into turn 1. For the 28th time on the penultimate lap already, this has gone mega quick. Can you show position changes? I can indeed if you'd like to see them. Wherever they are, there we are. So we can see Jacopo and Grillo, Tycho and Jacopo gaining 2 positions. And biggest gainers, we've got Rysiek, 13th. We've got Victor, 6. He's gained, he's up to, oh no, sorry. Rysiek's gained 8 now and Victor's gained 5. They're fighting into turn 4. So we'll have a little look at this battle first. You can see, oh, one of them splats Victor round into the wall. That is Victor. Pretty much not going to be able to make many points today. Big shame. Not sure if that was collision with Rysiek or if it was just he lost it on the exit. But yeah, so the biggest gainers, Rysiek on 8 now. You can see 4 positions for Giraffu, 4 for Sebastian. A lot of people gaining positions. Lukomsky lost 3. Big shame for Lukomsky. Obviously, he qualified on pole. But obviously, he hasn't been able to convert that into a win yet. But Harlan Marquis, let's have a look at him. He's now in the DRS of Jacopo. Could be looking to try and get through on him as we head on to the final lap of the race. We're on lap 28 of 29. The QRT's boys fighting for some reason. They are fighting, but I think it's more let them race. And also, someone's gone straight on at turn 11 there, which I believe is Victor Santana. So that's not ideal at all, is it? And loving in a team fight. Exactly. You've got to let the teams fight. You can't be like Mercedes. Well, you can't let them go like Mercedes. Also, that's Legend trying to get through on Lukomsky into turn 1. And we can't see the camp. There we go. Legend gonna go around the outside. That's Lukomsky up the inside. Bit of compromise. Oh, that's Legend's got to spin halfway. And is this going to allow Nardi Perez through? Could be a 2-5 for the pair. No, it's not going to be close enough. But it could have been a 2-5. You never know. Yep, let them race. Let them race indeed. As we come into turn 4. And as I was going to say, they can fight hard, but don't make it like Mercedes with Hamilton and Rosberg, because that's too far. That's when it's like, right, you know, they just want to murder each other at that point, literally. It becomes a game of who's going to murder each other first. But Julio on the back of Lars Butterman, still taking him to that DRS. Julio having some really nice pace around this track, really, really good. But Lars, absolutely amazing comeback. Started, I believe, 7th or 8th, dropped down to 17th, moved up to 7th. Great, but I want to go back on board with Tyler Hardy because he's winning our race so far. Harlem's not going to be able to get onto the back of Jacopo, I don't think. But Tycho, here we are, coming out at turn 13 for the final time. He's not going to worry about safety cars. He's not going to worry about crashing. He's done it all. But Tycho into the final corner for the final time. He's going to ride the curb on the exit. Oh, no, he's not. No, he is. Up to the line. He's going to try and get to line in time, and he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Amazing that. I don't know why I messed that up so much. But Jacopo comes home in 2nd with an amazing pit stop. And Harlem comes home in 3rd. Lukomsky in 4th, followed by Legend, Nardi, Lars, Julio, Sebastian, Giraffu, Fabian, Rysiek, Alexander, Isaac, Alex, Kasper, Akos, Miltos, and Victor. Yeah, I messed that up ending so. Oh, I was excited for that as well, and I messed it up completely. I forgot my words. But that was an amazing race. I enjoyed that, to be fair, for a Bahrain Grand Prix. Really nice. And I didn't expect Tycho and Jacopo to come out on top, being as the fact they were down, but obviously the safety car came out, they stayed out later, so it helped them. Still intrigued to find out what happened between Bartos and I believe it was Akos, because that's what caused the safety car, I believe, unless something else happened on track at the exact same time. But for me, driver of the day, it's hard to call, but I'm probably going to say Lars Butterman. I think it's fair to say Lars, because he didn't benefit off the safety car to get all the positions. You know, he gained all the positions himself. So, yeah, I would say that is going to be driver of the day for Lars. But unfortunately, we haven't got a channel that has got the voice channel. So we're not going to be able to have interviews from anyone, unfortunately, which is a big shame. But there we are. Tygo Hardy winning the first race of the season here on the Esports Challengers Cup, followed by Jacopo, Harlem, Lukomsky, Legend Rosenberg, Nardi Perez, Lars, Julio, Sebastian, Giraffu take out the top 10. Then we have Fabio, Rysiek, Alexander, Isaac, Kasper, Alex, Akos, Miltos, Victor, and Bartos. And I'm going to have a little look at the points quickly on my phone so we can try and see whereabouts everyone will be before the penalties. So if we have a little look on here, 1 second. So the point scheme, point system. There we go. So at the moment, Ferrari, which is TF, will be taking home 45 points. And McLaren will be taking home. Now we've got to test my maths. McLaren will be taking home 39. Mercedes will be taking 37. So between TF, FVR, and McLaren, no, hang on, TF, FVR, and TF10, it'll be, I think, an 8-point gap. Amazing, amazing commentary. Thank you, Adam. Just don't eat. Yes, I'm not going to eat Snickers next time. Honestly, my throat was still clean halfway through. I don't know why I decided it'd be a good idea to eat Snickers before and then not have a drink because then it was all going to be stuck in my throat. Well, you know, ignoring the fact I only died once. But that was a great race. I enjoyed that. It's also nice to see everyone in the chat. I know I fumble over my words all the time, but, you know, that's what I get for deciding to commentate at 10 o'clock at night. And also, big commitment from the drivers here. A lot of them are European. So the fact they're racing at 11, 12 o'clock, you know, it's, you know, great for them. Really nice for them to do. And, yeah, that was an amazing race. So let's know in the chat quickly before we end it. Who do you think was your driver of the day? Quickly, before we go. Because I'm going to say Lars Butterman. I think it's a fair thing to say. Didn't think I'd be voting him, but here we are. I'm sure Adam will probably say Alexander. Surely. What track is next? The next track is... Hang on. Let me find it for you because I forgot myself. Not very professional of me. The next track for this race will be the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. So that should be a great race. Then we have Austria, followed by Belgium, Saudi Arabia, and then finally Abu Dhabi. So Dylan says probably Tycho. Fair point. Fair. That's fair for Tycho. He did a great race today. So everyone, we're going to end it here. And Silver Toes, I think. Yeah, it's Silverstone. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us today. It was a great race. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully with more, if you can get the whole game thing sorted out with the different accounts or something. And we'll be back next time. So see you all later, everyone. Have a good evening and have a good week. Goodbye.